You can earn money with just your voice. No, not as a singer, not as a podcaster, but as a storyteller. Today, I'm spilling the beans on ACX, a voiceover marketplace where your potential earnings are as limitless as your talent. In today's lesson, I asked Nikki to unravel the ACX mystery, explore why it's the go-to for voice artists, and guide us through the surprisingly accessible path to jumpstart your journey. Let's get to it. Hi guys, and welcome back, scholars. So just a few channel announcements before we get started. This is breaking news. TeacherDacia.com is currently offline. It's simply due to some miscommunication errors between TeacherDacia and Bluehost.com. TeacherDacia looks to have this problem resolved within the next few weeks. It may even go until 2024 until it is officially fully resolved. TeacherDacia would like to request the continued patience of scholars who are looking to get in contact with her through her website. But if they wish to remain in contact with her, all they have to do is continue to stay tuned to YouTube, to her channel, and also feel free to reach out to her through her email address at teacherdacia@gmail.com. We also would like to celebrate 6,000 scholars. I'm sorry, I have to cut the bit now. But thank you so much for 6,000 scholars. I really, really appreciate all the support. And just thank you for staying tuned and sticking around for this unpredictable schedule that I have as an entrepreneur. Those of you who are new to the channel, then I would like to introduce you guys to Magic Mind. Now, Magic Mind has been on the channel before. It is an organic productivity shot. If you're a coffee drinker, then you know the drawbacks of coffee. It can give you a quick boost, but it can also make you feel sluggish after a few hours. If you are a person who gets your caffeine through tea, then you love the benefits of tea, but also wish it gave you more of a coffee-like boost. But that is where Magic Mind comes in. It is the best of both worlds. It gives you a combination of 12 active ingredients designed to stimulate focus, creativity, energy, and motivation while decreasing stress, oxidation, and even decreases post-exercise inflammation in the body. But how? Well, one of those 12 ingredients is matcha. It contains an ingredient that is called L-theanine, which basically is the main powerhouse that gives you the caffeine, but in a more controlled way, and which really helps you to avoid that caffeine crash. And if you're skeptical about Magic Mind at all, you're not familiar with any of those ingredients, like I've never heard of this a day before in my life. I was skeptical at first too, but not only do they list all 12 of their ingredients on their product and on their website, they also link research articles from the National Library of Medicine that backs up the science of each ingredient, so you can know for sure what you are consuming. I really, really enjoy having Magic Mind, even love it adding it into my matcha lattes in the morning. If you're ready to try this tasty blend of nootropics, use my code TEACH20 for up to 56% off your first subscription for the next 10 days. And the link will be in the description. There is a 100% money back guarantee, no questions asked. So even if you have the slightest interest in the product, be sure to check it out. It helps the channel. Thank you to Magic Mind for reaching out to me. Let's get back to the video. So we're getting into that money-making method very soon. But let me tell you who we have as our expert joining us today, Miss Nikki.
My name is Nikki. A lot of people know me as Deal Finding Diva. I have a YouTube channel and a blog where I tell people how to make money and save money. One of the most popular things on my channel is audiobook narrations.
What is this? I've never heard of this before. Why should I even consider being a voiceover artist? There are a few reasons. One is that it is remote work. There is no salary cap, flexible schedule, no experience is required. Those sound like pretty great benefits to me and pretty great reasons to at least hear what Nikki has to say about voiceover work. Here's how she got started herself.
It actually happened by fluke. In 2020, everything was shut down. I'm a single mom. And I was home trying to figure out how to make some money, because before that I was driving for Uber on my own time, making my own schedule. and I couldn't do it. My daughter was home, so I was looking everywhere. And so I went on to YouTube, and sure enough, I saw a video that talked about audiobook narration, and I'm like, well, let me try it. So I immediately clicked off that video when it was done and put in an audition on the website ACX, and nailed it.
While there are some great reasons to try voiceover work, you might also want to consider some potential drawbacks. And while it is remote work, you also have to consider the equipment you have to travel with. While there is no salary cap, that also means that there is no consistent income. While there is a flexible schedule, you have to remember the author's deadlines that they might provide for you. While there is no experience required, you do have people in this industry who have been doing it for years. So when you first start off, you are more than likely not going to get accepted right away.
There are a lot of people that are on ACX looking for jobs, and a lot of them have experience, which means they have the equipment. So when it comes to an author listening to somebody with experience versus no experience, you want to give yourself as much of a leg up as possible. So I always tell people, try not to take that chance if you don't have to. And there are options for like really affordable equipment. I'm an Amazon influencer, so I actually have a page that I have a section on for audiobook narration. So I suggest equipment, and there's one bundle that's on my page where the bundle is less than $50, and it includes a mic and a pop filter and stuff that you would need to get started. So, it's like if you're going to go for it, I would say, try to prepare yourself, try to be as ready as possible. And, because you are going to have competition.
There are some pros, there are some cons, but why not give it a shot? You never know what could happen. You could have a case just like Nikki.
So I got my first audiobook contract. It was offered to me like within a day or two, I believe. And before I finished that first book, as a matter of fact, because there's a 15-minute checkpoint that you have to send to the author. So when I sent that in, she's like, oh, I love your voice. You know what? I have another book for you to do. So she immediately sent me a second contract before I was even halfway done the first book. So yeah, so before that second book was done, I had a third contract. So yeah, so I nailed 3 contracts with the one audition. I got so lucky because when I put in my audition, I actually did it on my Mac. So I didn't have a special microphone or anything. I literally just used the mic on the Mac. When I got offered the contract, I have a friend that's into music. So I told him about it, and he's like, oh, I have an extra microphone. I'm like, thank you so much. Yeah. So he gifted me his $200 microphone. And yeah, so this is I'm still using the microphone to this day. I still have it. He also gave me his headphones, as a matter of fact. And so I had the headphones and the mic at that point. So then I went on to Amazon, and I found like a box that will cut down on the echo in the room. And yeah, so basically I was gifted my equipment, but I knew that when I got that contract that I would have to, make my sound better.
So you're hooked. You want to try it. You're ready to go. But as you begin your research, you might see that there are several different opportunities that you could try to become a voiceover artist. So why ACX? Whenever audiobook narration comes up, ACX is mentioned. Would you say that's the best platform for someone just starting out, or try somewhere else? Or is that that's the best platform?
ACX is where it's at. ACX is owned by Amazon. So we're talking about a legit company. You don't have to worry about, like the fake contract. I mean, don't get me wrong, there's scammers on ACX, but you will get your checks from ACX. So I had 3 royalty contracts. So I get royalties every month for 7 years if people are buying those audiobooks. So you have legit contracts on ACX. Now, other platforms, I can't speak much about those. I have done on my YouTube channel, I have done a video where there were alternatives to ACX, but there were also catches with it. A lot of times there were options to have them produce the audiobook for you. But when you have somebody else doing the production, they want their money. So it's like now you're splitting money and or paying these people out of pocket to do something for you that's not even guaranteed that you'll be successful in. So that's why I always suggest ACX first, because there are so many beginners on there, and there's a lot of, on the flip side, there are a lot of authors that have no experience themselves. They're just out there. They just threw a book on Amazon and they're like, I need to sell this and I need an audiobook version of it, and I don't have to pay out of pocket if I offer somebody a royalty contract. So for them, it's really beneficial. And again, it's a trustworthy platform. So yeah, ACX is definitely the best platform for a beginner.
There you have it. We have the platform that we're going to try. You're going to attempt to audition for some books. Which books should you audition for on the platform?
I always tell people, try to go for a book that fits you, something that you would actually be interested in doing. So for me, like, and because you can also do it on, you know, you can filter by the way that you speak as well. So for me, I filtered out by urban. So I'm like, okay, I can put myself in an urban character very easily. I'm a city girl, you know, so that's what I did. And basically I just put myself in the character because it was written in first person. So it was like basically reading this woman's diary out loud. And so when I was doing the characters, I would literally put myself into the shoes of the characters. And when you do that, you have to also keep in mind that with a fiction book, you are multiple people. You have to read every character. So yeah, that's something that you have to keep in mind, but also you're acting. So a lot of people would think, oh, you can get paid to read books. And it's like, I don't really like that connotation so much, because you're not just like sitting there just reading a book. No, you're acting out that book. So you have to basically be like a stage actor, but just sitting at your computer.
I wanted to know what Nikki would recommend for me to try as a up and coming voiceover artist. From listening to my voice, what do you think would be a good style of book for me to read, like a good genre?
Poetry, really? As well as an inspirational book.
Would have never thought that. Like, I would have never thought that. After the interview, I auditioned for some different authors, and I wanted to hear what they had to say about my calming, inspirational voice. Well, apparently it wasn't what they were looking for. One author was nice about it. She actually responded to the message that I typed and just said I wasn't what she was looking for. I just tried those two. I thought I would have more time to try others, but I didn't. So that's going to be it for me with voiceover work, because that's not something I'm really passionate about myself. But hey, if you have the time, if you have the circumstances, definitely give it a shot for yourself. One of the most important questions, how much are we talking? Like, how much do you think is a good expectation, you know, not too high, but just, you know, an average amount you could expect to make on with audiobook narration?
Okay, so it would depend on the book, and it will also depend on the type of contract that you sign. So there are 3 different types of contracts. So there's a flat rate where the person is offering you to pay you per finished hour. So that would mean if the book takes 2 hours, you know, the finished product is 2 hours, you would be getting, say if the per finished hour rate is $50, you would be getting $100 for it. Now that will be that same rate no matter how long it takes you to finish it. So you might put in 80 hours of work to do this because you're a newbie and you don't know what you're doing, and you just did all this work for $100, you know. But then there's also the royalty contract, which is what I had. And with that royalty contract, again, you can get paid up to, I mean, for 7 years. That's what the contract is for. And so you split the profit of that book. So it's 40%. You get 40% of, well, not you. You and the author split 40% of the sale of that book. So basically you're getting 20% of the sale of each audiobook copy. And then the third type is a royalty plus. So really that is pretty much the best type of contract that you could get. So with that, you can get a flat rate on top of the royalty share. So that would be the combo. So it would, like I said, it would depend on what kind of contract that you're doing. But also, I would say the majority of the books are royalty deal books, because that way the author doesn't have to pay out. So you're most likely to see those.
Voiceover work is something that you should definitely try if you're looking for something that is remote, that is flexible, that does not have a salary cap. But keep in mind the potential drawbacks that could also bring. If you want to know even more of Nikki's expertise on the subject, she actually has a course. It is the audiobook blueprint course, and she is offering scholars 25% off. The details will all be in the description box. Nikki and I discussed a lot more than what was shared in this video in our interview, and I plan on releasing that in a future podcast episode very soon. So if you're watching it and it's not available, be on the lookout. And if you're watching it and it is available, then I will have it linked in the description box and on the screen for you. There you have it. That's how you can make money with your voice being a storyteller. Also, if you're new here, you may be wondering, what is a scholar? A scholar is simply someone who has enrolled into Teacher Dacia's classroom by hitting the enrollment button below, also known as the subscribe button. So if you're interested in becoming a scholar educated in all things entrepreneurship, or even just how to have fun owning a business, okay, then make sure you enroll now and subscribe and stay tuned for more. So that is it for today's lesson. This has been Teacher Dacia. See you next time. Bye.